Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's not an old obsolete product, but a current available product from TechnoTrend called EVA-12. I found this on their web page, so it's definitely a current product. The fun thing about their web page is it's just impossible to figure out the prices, but you can go and order it as long as you don't know what the price is. I don't know. I don't like to order stuff I don't know how much it is really. But anyway, the cool thing about this product is it contains a little 9-volt battery and a ground connection to that connector here, and then it senses the presence of any high voltage or any static charge around this unit, and then there will be a beep and an LED alarm if there is any static charge present. And it says here in the manual about static charge and how dangerous that is to all sorts of CMOS circuits and all that kind of stuff. And that is, of course, absolutely true. Yes, you can indeed destroy components if you discharge any kind of high voltage and high current pulse through them. So with this unit, you should get some sort of an alarm before you're able to discharge or arc over. I think it's actually a little bit impressive that this one will run off a 9 volts battery, and it will last for 6 months, and there is no on and off switch. It's just on all the time, and it's not using any current at all, really, close to nothing. So what I think I will do is I'll start to put in a 9 volt battery and see if this thing gives an alarm. Oh boy. It just goes on and on and on all the time, so... Oh crap. Stop! Ooh, that was stressful. So okay, this unit is definitely defect, or I got too much noise triggering this somehow. Well, I don't really think so, because everything here is grounded and I don't really have any kind of noise issues. So I'm sorry, but I truly believe this unit is defect. So this gives us one more reason to open it and see if we can figure out what is wrong with it. I had the idea, the 2 screws down here, that was supposed to be how you open this case. Well, that is not the case at all. What you do is you just pull it apart. So you've got those little plastic clickety-click. And that is the metal plate for detection. And it's actually a lot more complicated than I would have guessed. It's full of special ICM 7556. Well, let's go and look this up. In the upper left corner, we see the ICM 7556. That is a dual timer. It's actually a dual version of the 555, like everybody knows, but here it's called 556. So that means we got 2 of them in a special CMOS super low power versions, and we got 2 of those. So that means we got 4 different counters, timers, pulse devices. At the bottom left, there is a 4066. I think this is the very well-known IC. So if you're just a little bit familiar with electronics, you should definitely know that one. It consists of 4 analog switches. You could just call them relays, because you can go both ways through them. And then you got 4 individual control signals to drive those switches either on or off. So they're probably switching some timers or some signals in and out of that plate and checking out the charge, if that charge is going up or down or something like that. About the middle to the right, there's an 8-pin device called ICL 7621. That is a dual CMOS op amp, super low power and very high input impedance. And under that one, in the bottom right corner, there's another ICL circuit. It's called 7611. That is a single op amp, more or less the same device, CMOS and super low power and all that kind of stuff. So that is all there is to it. Actually, quite a lot of components. And yeah, the two big blue resistors you see there, that's a 1 mega ohm resistors, so that reveals some high impedance kind of stuff. And then around the two timers, I see some high value resistors and some capacitors. So definitely we got some oscillators running here. So I would like to see what is working and what is not working here. It's absolutely stressful to make the different measurements here, not to be driven completely nuts. Even with tape on top of this beeper, it's just driving me completely nuts. Yeah, and the family too. So pin 5 and pin 9, that's the outputs of the two timers. So this one is doing the high pitch, and that is doing the beep 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 beep, and that is doing the beep, right? And this is doing the on-off keying. And that one is doing some different measurements, pulsing and all that kind of stuff. And when I scope this, there's definitely the two outputs of this circuit here is only swinging a very little bit, not as much as this one goes more or less full voltage rail. So I believe there's something wrong with this one. I just don't have this part on stock. So that's just bad luck. By removing the other ICs, I found a way to silence the madness here. But just touching some of the pins here with my scope and stuff like that, I could easily make it say all sorts of beep beeps. I believe this is the op amps here and stuff like that, and then it went. Yeah, okay, of course it's not doing that right now. It's always the demo effect. Sorry about that, but so yes, it could probably be repaired by just changing one of the timers.